Guys, it's October of 2022 and there's a new Dead by Daylight developer update out there for us to enjoy. So I wanted to go through everything coming in the latest developer update so that you can stay in the know, starting with the first change coming to Dead by Daylight, which is that there are now going to be bots in custom matches. That's right. As of 6.4.0, the next Dead by Daylight update, as a killer, you can add a bot to your lobby. Fill them up with survivor bots. Play games against survivors if you want to. They haven't quite worked on the killer AI yet to allow killers bots yet, but that's something that they're going to bring into the future. So if you want, now you can play against bots in custom matches. They're also updating the visual look of pallets, breakable walls, as well as the basement as well. Just, I guess, stuff to bring the game into a modern era of Dead by Daylight. But here's one of the really juicy changes coming to Dead by Daylight. They're adjusting flashlights and how they work. So the first change is that now killers will have complete blind immunity when pulling a survivor out of the locker. And this is because there are certain areas on maps where two lockers spawn against each other. And what can happen is two survivors can basically hop in both those lockers. And when the killer picks out one of the survivors, they can then blind you at the locker and then jump back into the locker and then blind you at the locker. And then if you try to save from the other locker, well, the other survivor jumps out and they blind you at that locker. And they can basically hold you hostage as killer. You'll never be able to kill those people. So essentially to balance that unbalanced aspect, they're just making it so that if you get a grab from a locker, you're completely blind immune. And the second is they're adding this weird, I won't say weird. They're adding a little buffer to flashlight saves. So flashlight saves are really hard because you have to time them perfectly, right? As soon as the killer's pickup animation ends, that's when the blind has to hit. Otherwise, the killer can look down, look up, look away. And if you do it too early, because they were in animation, it won't count. So they're adding a 0.25 second buffer at the end of a killer's pickup animation that if you hit them in that 0.25 seconds, the blind will actually go through and you will save your teammates. So it's actually reducing the skill needed to hit a flashlight blind. But I think in a way that's probably okay, really. Good for survivors in general. I know killers are going to be annoyed by this. It takes the skill away. But when you consider latency, 0.25 seconds really is just going to adjust for that, in my opinion. They're making some massive matchmaking improvements as well. You remember kills equals skills and how escapes equals skills as well? Well, they're actually changing that. They're making it so that your rating is based on team performance as well as your own performance. So that means that, let's say you sacrificed yourself by running for 5 gens so that 3 of your teammates can get out. The fact that 3 of your teammates got out mean that you will get more rating as the survivor who died. So your team's performance actually matters now in your overall rating. And if you take a break from Dead by Daylight, your MMR will decay a little bit. Just a little bit. Essentially what's going to happen is it's not a proper decay. It's a new rating adjustment. So your first couple of games will massively change your rating so that you can play against opponents of your current skill level rather than the skill level that you had when you left Dead by Daylight. Both those changes are coming in the next Dead by Daylight update, by the way. And here is a massive update on cheating as well. They've prevented cheaters from being able to hook themselves, from instantly powering generators, from starting the match with 2 killers, from stacking perks and add-ons on top of each other's, from extending the flashlight blind duration, reducing the maximum length of matches so that you can't hold people hostage anymore. The match will end after 5 minutes. They've added a counterforce to make the match end after endgame collapse starts, a measure to prevent players from sniping automatically. They fixed an issue that allowed cheaters to crash the game, and they're now able to confirm that these fixes were effective and have limited the ability of cheaters for the time being. They're in the game already. They made these changes and they're working is what they're saying. Now, they are admitting that they've identified new vulnerabilities that cheaters are now using in the game. But they're working on tackling those vulnerabilities as well. This is one of the biggest changes to cheating and updates to cheating in a long time. And I think what this means is that BHVR finally added server-side validation to their game. And so the server is validating whether or not the action that the cheater is performing is real or not, whether they should be able to do the thing that they're doing. And so that means that they should be able to add stuff like speed cheat detection as well as flying detection as well in the future, if that's the case. And hey, a massive change to temporary bans as well. They're increasing the length of your temporary ban massively. So if you get temporary banned the first time, instead of being banned for 24 hours, you'll now be temporary banned for 48 hours. Your second offense is now 1 week temporary ban rather than a 48-hour temporary ban. If you do 3, you're now banned for 1 month instead of a week. And on your 4th, you'll be permanently banned like you've always been. And so basically, this is Behavior's way of saying, if people are toxic, if people abuse in-game chat, if people do things that aren't part of the spirit of Dead by Daylight, they're going to take it way more serious to discourage toxic behavior existing in Dead by Daylight. And if you want more information, I will post this link in the description of the video so that you can see what actions will result in a temporary ban. So that is October's developer update. Some interesting changes. I think the biggest being the cheating tackle, as well as the flashlight changes. Let me know in the comment section what you think of this developer update. Is it good? Is it bad? And make sure you check out this video here where I play in hardcore. It's getting pretty tense. I can't believe you've missed the episode.